Okay, so for the first time in, 4 years of me doing picks, I am breaking my own rule, and I'm doing 2 Game of the Weeks this week because I think these deserve to be Game of the Weeks. I think they're going to be really fun games. I can't wait. I have 3 upsets, which I think my record is 4 in a week. I'll have to go back and double check past couple of years, but 3 upsets as you can see on this screen, or on the screen here. And so, because I got a lot of views last week, so maybe you're new to this, maybe you have no idea what's going on. For the people that don't really care and they just want to come in, look at my picks, and go, I put them all up on screen so you can see them. If you want to stay, you want to know why did I pick that team, or why did I maybe pick against your team, why did I pick your team, something like that. I'll go through them all, explain them. Yellow means, teams that probably should win, probably a lot of people would pick to win. Unbiased fans that aren't a fan of, let's go let's go Buffalo, New England. If you're not a fan of Buffalo, you're not a fan of New England, a lot of people are probably going to be picking Buffalo. So, something like that. Blue is upsets, teams that I don't think a lot of people are going to pick. A lot of people probably don't see them winning this game. And then, as I stated before, green, well, I didn't state green, but two greens this week. Again, I'm breaking my own rules for the first time. This is actually a pretty stacked weekend for football. It's a pretty good slate. This is one of the better slates of the year. And so I had to break my own rules, and I had to go with 2 greens. Normally, not every week, but normally I only do 1, but I don't do a green every single week. Like last week. Wasn't really a lot of good games, so I didn't really have one last week. But, again, this might not really ever happen again unless we get, another week in the future, in the next 5 weeks, or, it would really only be like the wild card round where it's like a lot of chances for multiple Game of the Weeks. But, maybe next regular season, if we have a stacked week, we have a lot of good teams, I might break my rule again, but this is the first time I'm doing it. So, to get into it, Buffalo, Thursday night, I am picking them to go to New England, beat New England. They just feel like a good team. I feel like they're going to be able to handle that New England defense. Obviously, you play them twice a year, so you know them real well. They're going to play you tough. It's a divisional game. You're in the AFC East, which is probably, if not, well, I guess you could say it's the second hardest because the Eagles have a better record. Than the Miami's at 1, I believe. So you could probably say like the Eagles, they still have better records. Cowboys, I believe, are 8-2 or whatever, something like that. So you could say that the AFC East is the second hardest division in football, which I think I would probably agree with. But I think they can pull out the win. It might be low scoring. It might be 21-17, something like that, because they might put up a real good fight. The Patriots might put up a real good fight against the Bills. So then we move on to Sunday. I'm not really going to touch on this too much. At the time of recording this, no word on if Justin Fields is going to start or not this week. But I feel if Jordan Love plays, I feel like they can win this game with Jordan Love because Rodgers is just banged up. I don't know if I trust them to get a win here, but if they put Jordan Love in, I actually have some confidence in him. I do. So I think, again, and the thing is Aaron Rodgers is probably going to start, but if Jordan Love maybe plays the second half of this game, I think they have a shot in this game to beat Chicago. If he doesn't, I don't know. Rodgers is banged up. He's got rib injuries now. He's got broken thumb and whatnot. So I don't know. Who knows? But I have faith in Love. So Pittsburgh, Atlanta. I'm going with Atlanta because they're at home, but I don't know. I should have flipped the coin for this one, but I didn't. I just kind of okay, well, Atlanta's at home, so I'll go with them. I didn't really know who to go with. I didn't. So then we move on to the Jets head to Minnesota. I'm picking the Jets to upset Minnesota. Yes, I think the Jets defense is a top 5 defense this year. I think Mike White brings a whole different dimension than what Zach Wilson does to this team. So I think they're going to put up a hell of a fight in Minnesota. And I'm going to say they win by 1 point. They win by 36-35. Last second field goal. They win 36-35. That's what I'm going to say. This is going to be kind of probably... I know, again, I just talked about their defense being very good. I think that if you can shut down Justin Jefferson, and to an extent, Adam Thielen, maybe, I think, you put the ball in Kirk Cousins' hands, I think you can win. Now, Minnesota's going to give you a hell of a fight. They're going to put up a hell of a fight, too. But I think this will be a really good game. And honestly, if we didn't have Miami and San Francisco or Kansas City and Cincinnati, this might have been my game of the week. If not, maybe, well, I don't know if I would have done Tennessee and Philly. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm really excited for this game. So, Jacksonville heads to Detroit. I am picking Jacksonville to beat Detroit. I just think that Jacksonville is on their ascent up right now. They showed that, hey, they can hang with the tough guys, the top guys, I should say, the tough teams. You only lost to Kansas City by 10. You beat Buffalo. You're in a division where Tennessee's probably going to win your division, but, maybe 2 years down the line, maybe you're contending for that division. Who knows? So I think, they're on the ascent. Trevor Lawrence had a really good, especially the end of the game, last week, week 12. So I think that they can go to Detroit, and I think they can get it done. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe Detroit bounces back after their close loss to Buffalo, but I have some faith in Jacksonville. I think they can actually show up. I think they will show up. So, Tennessee and Philadelphia, I am so scared that this is going to be a boring game. I feel like this is going to be a boring game because it's two teams that run. It's Derrick Henry and that, Titans defense Titans offense that is built around Derrick Henry to run the ball and whatnot. When they can get it going, then you can play action and whatnot. And then you have Philly, who kind of the same thing, but it's built around Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts. So you can do, QB options or read options or whatever you want to do. Jalen Hurts can run it. Miles Sanders can run it. So, it's kind of like this might be a fast-paced, maybe a low-scoring game, and it's which defense is going to get tired first, because it could just be they run the ball 75% of the time, combined. This might be mainly a run-the-ball game for both teams. So, we'll see, but I'm nervous. This might be I don't know, maybe a 19-16 game or something like that, of just a lot of running. And I guess that maybe it'd be higher, so maybe mid-20s. Maybe 28-27 or something like that. That's kind of high 20s. I said mid-20s. But maybe something like that, just running the ball down each other's throats. So, we'll see. Then we have Cleveland heads to Houston. Who gives a crap? This is going to become a storyline because Deshaun Watson is playing his first football since, 2019, I believe. So, I don't really care. I'm picking Cleveland because Houston is ass. But I don't care for Deshaun Watson. I don't care for the Browns, so. Then we have an NFC East matchup. The Washington Commanders head to New Jersey to face the New York Giants. And I am picking Washington to upset. I do think the Giants are a better team. They have the better record right now. I think Washington will move into third place in the NFC East. Again, that division is not being locked up until Week 18. I talked about it in my videos last week. It's going to come down to the wire. Everyone still has to play everyone. The Eagles still have to play, I believe, the Giants twice, Dallas once, and they already lost to Washington, and they have to play Washington again in FedEx Field this time. They lost to Washington at home. Now you have to go to FedEx Field and play them again. So, the NFC East is going to be a bloodbath. And this, again, it's not going to be Week 18. I have this feeling it's not going to be till Week 18. And maybe the Cowboys, if they beat the Eagles, then again, you have to beat your other NFC East rivals too. Maybe they end up winning this division. Maybe Washington ends up winning this division. I know, the Giants just lost to Dallas. Maybe they turn it around and they're able to win this division too, and win out. They pretty much have to win out. But who knows? This could be a very interesting game. And I'm picking Washington to win here. I think they're going to move up the chain, move up the ladder a little bit, slowly and steadily. So, Denver heads to Baltimore. Baltimore should win this. They should win this. That's all I'm going to say. Then we move on to our first game of the week here. Miami heads to San Francisco. This is going to be a hell of a game. I am so excited for this. Tua is, I believe, still undefeated as a starter. The Niners have not allowed a single second half point in the last 4 games. 4 consecutive games, 0 second half points for their opponents. In San Francisco, I think this is going to be an amazing game. This might be high scoring. It might be. Or this could be a very low scoring game, and it might be like 12-9 or something like that. Who knows? I don't know what the weather is, so maybe the weather's a factor in this too. But this will be a hell of a game. So I am very excited for this game. I can't wait to see this game. And I'm not going to get it because, of course, most of America is going to get Kansas City and Cincinnati, which, again, we'll talk about in a minute. But I want to watch this game, and I might just, go watch it online or something. We'll see, because I don't have Red Zone. So, then Seattle heads to face the Rams for a NFC West matchup here. Seattle trying to bounce back. What are they on, a 2-game losing streak, I believe? So, Niners, I believe, have the number 1 spot in the NFC West right now. So a win here for them, kind of helps propel them to get back closer to the Niners, to get closer to the winning the division again. Which, who saw Seattle competing for the division this late in the season, Week 13? No one did. Everyone said, "Oh, they're going to be a bottom 5 draft pick." I said that. I said that too, and they're contending for what'll probably be like the 3rd or 4th seed in the playoffs. They're contending for playing at home in Seattle in the wild card, which is just crazy to think about. Which means maybe with all the draft capital they got, maybe they can make a couple more trades. Maybe they're back to contending for the division yearly again. Who knows? I don't know. But Geno has come out of nowhere and looked like MVP. I say that half jokingly because he actually does look very good this year. So then we move on to the Chargers head to face the Raiders. Now, the AFC West is such a garbage heap. No one expected this at the start of the season either. Like, you expected the Chiefs to run away with this division. Now, if you're a Chiefs fan, like you're like, oh, everyone's doubting us. We're gonna win this division. Everyone else said, oh, maybe Broncos have a chance. Maybe the Raiders have a chance with a new number 1 wide receiver after just making the playoffs last year. Maybe the Chargers have a chance after all these signings on defense and offense and just building a juggernaut. And then, of course, all 3 teams collapse. Broncos are ass. Raiders are absolutely terrible ass garbage. And the Chiefs, or did I say Chargers? Sorry, Chargers injured to hell. Chiefs are just running away with it. They're in the 1 seed right now too. They're not running away with the West. They're running away with the whole AFC right now too. So this is just, this is terrible. I am gonna go with the Chargers to win. I have no idea who's gonna win this game. Maybe the Raiders can go on a 2-game winning streak. I don't know. But this division just is so bad. I hate watching these games. I don't want to watch Broncos games anymore. I don't want to watch Raiders games. I don't really care about Raiders games. Chargers, again, I had faith and I picked them to win the AFC West. They might not even make the playoffs, so we'll see. Then we move on to my second game of the week here. Cincinnati hosts Kansas City. This will have playoff implications. This is in Cincinnati this year, so I think Cincinnati's going to take it. I do. I think the rematch of last year's, what was it, division? Was it division? No, AFC Championship game. No, I think it was AFC Championship game because it was Bills and Chiefs for division round. So AFC Championship game rematch here. I do think the Bengals are going to win this one again. I think now that you don't have, well, you have a deep threat, or you have deep threats, but it's not Tyreek Hill, and I think the Cincinnati defense is very good. They do kind of start out slow in games, so that can kill them, especially against the Chiefs, a high-scoring offense. But I think they'll be able to pull out the W here. I think it'll be a intense game. I think the winner will win by a field goal. It might be high scoring. It might be 45-42, or it might be just a bad day for both teams, and it might be 28-21 or something like that. So we'll see. But I have a lot of faith this game will be fun no matter what. Even if it is kind of low scoring, mid-20s. Hopefully it's not mid-teens, because that would kind of be like a meh game. Unless the defense is balling out and there's 7 interceptions in total between the two teams. We have like 2 fumbles or something like that. Like if it's defenses just showing out, yeah, then I'll accept the low-scoring game. But if it's just both offenses just suck and the defense are just like, yeah, hey, we got off the field, woohoo! Then it's like, okay, well. But I have faith in these two teams to make it a good, fun, exciting game. So. Then we move on to Sunday night. Indy heads to Dallas. Dallas is going to win this. I don't even really want to talk about Indy. They had terrible clock management against the Steelers on Monday Night Football. So I don't even want to talk about this, this team. Dallas is looking good. So New Orleans, Tampa. Before the season started, it was said maybe this will be an interesting game. Now it's 2 teams that suck. So Tampa's going to win the NFC South because every other team in that division is absolutely terrible. Panthers, terrible. Falcons, terrible. Saints just got shut out last week against the Niners. Absolutely terrible. So Tampa, if they can win this, I'm picking them to win this. They're going to run away with this division, and it might be like a 500 record or something like that. Like, it might not even be that good of a record. So they might be stuck with the the 4th seed, unless Seattle makes the playoffs. Then they have, if they get the same record as Seattle, then they have the tiebreaker, so they move up in the 3rd seed. So, but I expect them to get the 4th seed. I expect the Niners to make the playoffs. So Tampa, they're gonna get in the playoffs just because the rest of the team sucks, or the rest of the South sucks. So. Those are my picks. Let me know, what do you agree with, what do you disagree with? Let me know your picks, what is different. Again, I have 3 upsets, so I expect, people to pick Philly, people to pick Minnesota, people to pick the Giants. So we'll see. And I guess the Washington's not exactly a upset, but they have to go on the road to face a divisional rival at their home. But they did the Philly, so it's not really a super big upset. So for now, though, like the video, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.